Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Deputy Head of Information Center Volodymyr Polevyi. He will provide information about the recent events in ATO area. Good afternoon. About the situation in ATO area. Yesterday in Luhansk region, nine Ukrainians were taken from captivity. Seven military men and two volunteers, one from battalion Aidar, six from 80th and Brigade 1824 Ministry of Defense. In general, on occupied territories of Donbass, there is a trend of such trend. Terrorists violate a ceasefire. Russia continues to bring in its military presence on those territories that are under control of terrorists in Luhansk region, and they accumulate armed equipment, ammunition to Shastia, Peromaisk, Popasne, and Sloveno-Serbsk. During the day, the most active shelling took place in Donetsk region. Twice from snipers from other small arms they were shooting at Donetsk airport. As it was informed before yesterday, artillery fire as a response destroyed 4 tanks, armed vehicles, 2 howitzers, and one paratroopers vehicle. Terrorists from tanks, mortars, and artillery, they were shelling on Mariinka, Berezovka, Novomykhailivka, Pisky, Avdiivka, Mayorske, Leninske, and Dzerzhinske. Near Debaltseve from artillery, mortars, and grenade launchers, and from small arms, terrorists were shelling positions of Ukrainian armed forces near Nikishine, Ridkodub, Debaltseve, near Chernukhine. Our positions were shelled from ground system. In Mariupol direction, from artillery mortars, they were shelling our positions near Staroknyazevsk, Granitne, Novolasp, and Zamožne. Between Permansk and Luhansk, militants shelled from ground system positions near Izbinka and Krakivka. From mortars and small arms near Starый Dar, Krymske, and Donetsk. Artillery fire as a response near Krymske. Mortars crew was destroyed mortars crew. Border guards fought off a group of militants near Blagodatne Volnovakha district. Almost at midnight, border guards, with the help of heat visor, thermovisor, they noticed the movement of 12 armed people. They fired. They warned them with fire, and then they had to fight against them, and the enemies pulled back. 3 military men died during the last day. 15 were wounded. Yesterday, border guards near Sukhabalka, Donetsk region, not far from Ukrainian block post, they found a secret place with grenades and shells for small arms near Kurakhove, Donetsk region. Border guards found a secret place, hiding place with shells for 182 cannons. And now there's a rotation of National Guards. Today on the military test field, they were shooting, and they were used Zut-22-3, and every crew shelled the necessary amount of shells. And these crews will will go to different units of National Guards and in ADO area. Also yesterday, in the training center of National Guards, there was a solemn graduation of 200 cadets and contracted cadets, and they will serve in the National Guards in the east of Ukraine. At the same time, from ATO area to an addition as a rotation, a part of National Guards moved back. They're responsible for guarding Khmelnytsky nuclear power station, and they were there in the east of Ukraine for 3 months. This is the way they are received. Now, this is a picture about the next military men of National Guards of Ukraine who were wounded during an ATO. There is arrived to Croatia for rehabilitation and treatment, and they are diagnosed in one of the biggest hospitals in Croatia. And very soon, for them, they will start a course of rehabilitation in Volodymyr Toplice, in one of the treatment resorts of Croatia, and they are quite famous for their thermal sources. The situation in ATO area. The government of Ukraine passed a resolution according to which in towns and villages in the Donetsk region, on territories of which Ukrainian authorities that don't have the powers and not under control of Ukraine, then payments from Peshmerga and from other welfare funds will be done only when these territories come under the control of Ukrainian authorities. By the 1st of December, all budget institutions will be which belong to the field of the governance, to territories where Ukrainian authorities control and work. Militants enforce mobilization and residents from Kherson, Shakhtar, Ilovaisk, and Vrosivka. According to the data we have, so-called humanitarian convoy, which illegally came to the territory of Ukraine last week. From Russia, they brought in simulators to train to military professions, and also they brought different equipment to build a test field on occupied territories. We have received the information that leadership of terrorist organization LNR prohibited businessmen who work or are planning to work on occupied territories to transfer taxes to the state budget of Ukraine. This is a crime. Article 206 Criminal Code of Ukraine about that's resistance to illegal business activity. So we received information from Ukr yesterday on liberated territories from terrorists. They provide internet in Donetsk region, in Kramatorsk, Krasnoarmysk, Slavyansk, Gorlivka, Oleksandrov, Drushkivka, Selidova, Dobropilya, Дзержинska, Konstantinivka, Mykolаївка, Svetoyirsk, Dmitrov, Novy Svit, Krasny Liman. The leadership of the UN on the issues of refugees, and they give women clothing for IDPs. And Kramatorsk, to help them, they gave 660 bed sets for people who left their houses, like a blanket sheets, and a towel. Volunteers provide medicine, clothes, and food. 25 students of a school, they received sets for pupils and from from one school from Kiev, and there was this an action, children of students, pupils of Kiev to pupils of Kramatorsk, and there are about 2,000 of pupils in Kramatorsk, and they are IDPs also. Donetsk utility services, and they fixed Olenivska water treatment facility. It did have a power since October 28 because of the shelling of militants, and water. They provide water like they did before. As a result of shelling by terrorists in Luhansk region, without power, we have Stanично-Luhansk district and two towns in Popasna district, and there is no gas in the transmitters of Sukilniki and Novodaevsky district and Chernukhino in Popasna district. Because of absence of power, without water, we have Stanica Luhanska. To repair the damaged infrastructure and to provide gas, power, and heat, it's impossible because terrorists continue shelling, and they don't allow repairing crews to come and fix the system. So this is all. Please, your questions. Yesterday, a monitoring mission OSCE published a report in which they spoke about shelling of that school in Donetsk, and there is a formulation that shelling was from a northeast direction. Can you comment? Because it's a hint. It's a hint that Ukrainian forces were shelling. According to the information we received, shelling of that school in Donetsk, that was from Makiivka. More questions? You named a lot of towns and villages that were shelling. Why the activity of militants is growing? Thank you for your question. As we informed you during last weeks, there is a huge accumulation of military equipment, ammunition, armed vehicles on the territory of that is under control of the terrorists, and they don't comply with ceasefire, and also they violate it. They abuse it many times a day. If you look at the map, you see that the map of that activity, and we show from where shelling is coming. Why they are active? They're trying to kick out Ukrainian troops from those positions because Ukrainian armed forces have the order not to counterattack and not to destroy terrorists who are on the territories that are not under control of Ukrainian authorities. But for every, we respond with artillery to all shootings of terrorists. More questions? If not, then thank you very much.